Hello everyone and welcome back to Niko Vlogs. I am Niko. On my mind today, Sony takes a jump start ahead of Nintendo and Xbox is trailing behind. That's going to be the last story for today, so stay tuned. Also, the Mass Effect 3 live action trailer has come out, SSX got a review from Kotaku, and some rumors about God of War 4. So, let's get started. A retailer in South Africa has listed God of War 4 and made it available for pre-order. They have the release date as February of 2013. Now, Sony hasn't actually announced this game yet, so that date is not confirmed. However, this same retailer made a similar announcement to a different game a few months back, and they were accurate. So there's reason to believe that God of War 4 is in production. It will be for the current console, PlayStation 3, and we should see a release of it in about a year's time. Now, I'm sure there will be much more details about it at E3. That's in June this year, and that is when a lot of game developers make their announcements at these big conferences. Moving on, the Mass Effect 3 live trailer has been released. That was out a couple days ago. It's right here on YouTube, so I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that out. I personally am a huge fan of live action trailers. It takes, your game environment, your imagination, and kind of tries to put it in a real life scenario, and I'm really excited about that whole aspect of advertisement for video games, because I don't know if you guys saw the Modern Warfare 3 live action trailer with Jonah Hill, but it was awesome. I've seen it so many times because it's hilarious. So moving on, the SSX has gotten a review from Kotaku. Now, I was a huge fan of the old SSX games on GameCube, SSX and then SSX Tricky. It's a snowboarding game, and it's really it's not realistic by any means. You do really high flying tricks, you can spin and flips and all this other stuff, and it was always a ton of fun just to see how much air you could get. But they're adding some new features to the new SSX. Well, they've already added them since the game is out, but they seem really cool. What they've done is they've added armor in and other types of equipment, and the way that it works is you have to wear your armor. That's kind of like a default. It's on your character every time you start a race. And the more you fall, the more damage your armor takes, and eventually your armor will actually break off and it will reveal your health bar. If you continue to fall, you'll lose health, and you could actually, lose the race if you lose all your health. So I thought that was really awesome, the fact that they're kind of incorporating equipment into a snowboarding game. And it's not just the armor that's doing it. There's also certain maps, certain terrains where equipment is actually needed. Take, for instance, the Mount Everest course. On that map, it's a realistic, they wanted to make it a little more realistic doing the high-flying tricks that they did. So on a map like Mount Everest, where in real life you would need some type of breathing device, you will then have that available to you in SSX. Also, there's a course where there's underground tunnels that are completely pitch black, and there you actually have to have like a little miner's hat with a flashlight in order to navigate those tunnels. So I thought that was an awesome addition to the SSX franchise. It takes it away from the, just go big and get as many tricks as you can, to actually having some type of survival techniques or equipment that you actually need in order to complete the course. Last up today is Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox. Now, as we all know, the Wii U is going to feature a controller that has an LCD screen, and you can actually use it to play your games. You can have the game projected onto the screen, or some games will be on your TV, and then there'll be like menu on your little portable handheld. Now, the reason that this new article has come out that's saying Sony beat Nintendo to the punch is because the PS Vita just released, and a lot of people didn't know that the PS Vita has a built-in use as a controller feature for the PS3. Basically, it can do everything that we know is possible for the Wii U. So, I don't know, there was a lot of hype around the controller and the LCD screen for the Wii U, and it was kind of like their pitch, their selling point for the new console from Nintendo. So this was kind of a bit of a surprise to me that Sony came out with the PS Vita and it has that same compatibility, but it's a good year ahead of the Nintendo console, and it has a lot of the same features, including actually using it as a controller as well as using the touchscreen on the Vita for menu options and things like that, so that you don't interrupt your gameplay. So, my question for you today is, are you all for these new systems coming out with, the controller that also has the LCD and it kind of integrates the two? I personally think it's a pretty good idea as long as it doesn't get too complicated. I feel like if you're having to look down at the screen in your hand all the time, you're going to lose track of actually what's going on in your game. So I hope that when they use the handheld screen, it's something that's quick and navigable and easy to see so that it's not distracting you from the actual game. Following up, I did mention Microsoft in this story, and that is in the same exact article about Sony and the Vita's controller option. It did say that Microsoft has been experimenting with an iPad-type tablet to be used with the next Xbox console. So it seems that all three major console developers are kind of heading in this direction. It could be because they don't want Nintendo to steal the thunder with their controller, but it could be that the market in general is just moving towards more concise and integrated technologies. So let me know what you guys think. That's all I had for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, remember to rate it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you tomorrow.